sexy thing, you. I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you sexy thing.
So that was my impression of a grey squirrel. Everyone knows grey squirrels are an alien species, right? Yeah. They also strip the bark off trees and eat the phloem underneath, hence alien strippers. Seemed like a good idea when I planned it. And I said to my supervisor, is it alright if I put a grey squirrel costume on my funding? And he said no. So, it's okay, it doesn't matter. But so there's less 50 Shades of Grey Squirrel and more Independence Stray, which is oh, you laughed, shit. It's quite a niche joke because it involves knowing that Independence Day is a film about aliens, which everyone knows, but it also involves knowing that grey squirrels and squirrels' nests are called drays. And it's a niche joke, but you can't tell a niche joke at the British Ecological Society conference. Where can you tell a niche joke? And Charles Elton would be pleased, I think so. But no, yeah, my PhD is on grey squirrels and why they damage trees. The working hypothesis is that they do so to ameliorate a seasonal calcium deficiency. And so the idea is if you can understand why grey squirrels are damaging trees, then we can come up with some kind of non-lethal preventive measure that doesn't involve killing them in areas where there's no red squirrels. Because there's no need to kill them with no red squirrels. So it's funny actually, a lot of my friends who got into ecology and zoology cited David Attenborough on TV as their inspiration for getting into ecology, which is fine. When I got through the interview for my PhD, I thought, brilliant, this is really representing the two things that I used to watch on TV a lot. So my PhD is a collaboration between forest research and the Royal Veterinary College. And so I used to watch a lot of that film, Robin Hood film, with the fox, so that represents forest research. And the other programme I used to watch was Animal Hospital, the veterinary programme, starring Rolf Harris. And so you can imagine I was utterly dismayed. I was full of contempt and just disgust when it all came out that they made that rubbish Russell Crowe Robin Hood film. And, but anyway, yes. So the Royal Veterinary College had a carol service the other day, and I really like carols, but I had a prior engagement. All my friends were going to the pub, so I couldn't go to the carol service, but I still really love carols. So if you'll indulge me, I'd like to sing you a carol, as if I'm already dressed, anyway. So when I say carol, I mean I've reworked the words to Good King Wenceslas to illustrate some of my research. And as a preamble to this, as I said, my working hypothesis is that grey squirrels damage trees for calcium. So you might expect damaged trees to have higher levels of calcium than undamaged trees. So I set out to test this by doing some field work, and I took samples from damaged trees and undamaged trees and did mineral analysis on them. And so that's the background to this carol. And so just imagine I'm in a wood doing field work and it's really boggy and loads of insects and stuff. A good thing I bought insect spray, it's like I'm the feast of Stephen. I will spray it round about so it's sprayed all even. Bloody hell, where is that spray? I think I have lost it. What's a poor man got to do to not be eaten alive? Sorry, I went a bit Alan Partridge there. Oh, look, there's a nice old man walking through the woods. Bloody hell, what's that he has resting on his shoulder? Why has he got a massive gun? Surely I am done for. Oh wait, he's just shooting squirrels and he wants to talk to me. Sorry, sir, I did not catch what it is you're saying. Yes, I'm taking bark samples to see why squirrels damage trees. If you thought that was laboured, then wait for the next bit. There's more, yeah. On his merry way he went, keep killing squirrels. I carried on taking samples and some tree measurements. When the samples were analysed using high-performance liquid chromatography, I found no calcium difference between damaged and undamaged trees. But there was a marked difference when I looked at phosphorus. As these two minerals are linked, there is still hope for us. I must do more statistics to be sure what's happening. Then again, perhaps they are just after the sugar in bar. So I'm also doing some sugar analysis on my samples, but I've sent them off to Kew Gardens, and frustratingly, but perhaps appropriately, they're taking their sweet time about it. But so another part of my project is trying to find out what if grey squirrels can absorb calcium oxalate, because that's the form calcium takes in tree bark. And so what I did is I fed them different diets. One was a high calcium diet, and I looked at bone mineral density, and that was the benchmark. And the low calcium diet was whether they could not absorb calcium, and there was going to be some kind of gradation in between for the calcium oxalate diet. But not all mammals can absorb calcium oxalate. So it's and if grey squirrels can't absorb calcium oxalate, then it's unlikely that they're going to be damaging trees for calcium. I think you can guess where this is going. But so, as a quirk and very appropriate for this presentation, there's also calcium oxalate in the brewing process of beer. And so, to illustrate the findings for this part of my project, I'm going to use this beer as an analogy of calcium oxalate. And if I can down this pint of beer, it will illustrate that grey squirrels can utilise calcium oxalate. Anyway, so we'll see. Can I have a drum roll for So grey squirrels can't absorb calcium oxalate. It's not looking great for the calcium hypothesis, unfortunately. There are some other results that if you look at my poster tomorrow, you'll see maybe sway the other direction, but I think it's all left for me to say is wish me luck with my Viva next year. No, because the only reason I'm doing all this is because I want to be the real Dr. Dre. And,